With the One Piece card game recently launching in Japan, there have been a lot of new players who have downloaded Untap to test the game out. So I wanted to create a quick guide to go over the basic functionality of Untap and how you can use it to play the One Piece card game. So when you first log into Untap and start a game, you'll first select a deck that you want to use from your pre-built decks. And then once you and your opponent both chosen a deck, you'll want to go to the left here, and this third button from the bottom is a dice button. And you'll click that to roll a dice. So we'll click roll d20. So both you and your opponent will roll a dice, and whoever gets the higher number will be the one who goes first. Once you've determined who's going to be playing first, then you'll want to draw your hand. So you'll go over to your deck, and you'll click on that, and you'll select draw, and you're going to change the number to 5 here to draw 5 cards. So now we've drawn our starting hand. So we can either decide to keep this hand, or if we didn't like it, we do have the option to mulligan. If you want to mulligan, what you can do above your hand here, there's a little 3-bar button. If you click that and you click mulligan, and we're going to select 5 because we want to mulligan 5 cards. So now it will shuffle our hand into our deck and draw a new hand for us. So now we have our new starting hand. Once you've decided your starting hand, you can then play your life. To do that, you'll go back to the deck, and we're going to click the deck, and we're going to select a draw 2, and then we're going to go up to life here, and we're going to change this number to 4 because we have the red green law, so we only get 4 life. If you have, for example, the purple Kaido, you would select 5 life, but for us, we're going to select 4 life. So now it's drawn 4 life cards to our life deck here. After that, you can start playing. So let's say, for example, I was going first. To play your Dawn, what you can do is you can click on the Dawn deck and select Draw 2, and then select Play. So that will play the Dawn to the play area here. If you want to, for example, rest or unrest your Dawn, when you hover over the card, you get a couple buttons that appear at the top here. So you can click the button on the far left here to rest or unrest the card. If you don't want to click the button, what you can also do is when your mouse is hovering over the card, if you hit the space bar, it will also rest and unrest the card. So you can use either option. So say, for example, we're going to rest this card so that we can play our chopper. Once you're done with your turn, it doesn't appear right now because I'm just in the game with myself, but there will be like a little arrow button right here kind of in the middle of the screen. You can click that to pass the turn to your opponent, and then they can start playing. Once they've finished their turn, then they pass back to me. What you can do is when you start your turn, the first thing that you'll want to do is to untap your cards. On the left here, right above the dice button, there's a little arrow button here that says untap all. If you click that button, it will untap all of the cards in your play area. Once you do that, you can then draw your card. And then since it's now our second turn, we can play 2 Dawns. So if you click on the Dawn deck, you go to draw 2 and go to play. And now we're going to select 2. Now let's play 2 Dawn to our play area. And now we can take our next turn. Let's say, for example, we wanted to play this Gordon. We will tap 2 Dawn. Another thing you can do as well, you can either rest your Dawn by clicking the button or hitting the space bar, or if you want to rest multiple Dawn at once, what you can do is you can drag, and so if you kind of click and drag, so we'll click in the corner here and drag, and you can select multiple cards, and then you can click this little 3-line button here, and then click the tap, and that will tap multiple cards at once. So we're going to tap 2 cards to play Gordon. And then if you want to show your opponent that you're activating effect, what you can do when you're hovering over the card, you can click this this little H button here, and that will shake the card, showing your opponent that you're activating the effect. Or if you're hovering over the card, you can just hit the H key on your keyboard, and that will also shake the card. So for this one, what we need to do is we need to place 1 card from our hand to the bottom of our deck and to draw 1 card. So what you can do if you want to is you can click on a card and click send to, and then go main deck bottom, and that will send a card to the bottom of the deck. Or another way you can do it is when you're hovering your mouse over a card, if you hit the Y key, it will also send a card to the bottom of your deck. So we will then draw a card off of Gordon's effect. Another thing you can do, for example, is if you want to attack or to show that you want to attack somebody, So say, for example, we want our law to attack their leader. We'll rest the card, and then what you can do is you can click this O button here, and then select what you want to target. So I'm going to target their leader, and that'll show that we're attacking their leader. Similar to the space in the H key, if you're just hovering your mouse over the card and you click O, then you can also just select that you want to target their leader, just another way to activate that functionality. Let's say, for example, it was my opponent's turn and they were attacking me, so they attack with their leader and swing into me. Once they've signified that they want to attack, I can show that whether I want to respond to it or not. So let's say, for example, I did want to respond. There's a button here on the left, this kind of red thumbs down, which is alert response. So that's showing, hey, I want to do something. So I can either discard a card and show them, hey, I'm going to discard this Otama to counter, or if you want to, you could tap a card to play an event card. So I'm going to play Radical Beam. Either option works, but that if you click this alert response, that shows that to them that, hey, I'm going to respond to this attack to do something. The other option, if you didn't want to respond, you could click the no response, and that shows, hey, I'm not going to do anything. So either A, if he was attacking, for example, if this Kaido was attacking Gordon and I did no response, then I would show I'm not going to respond to this, so the character is going to die. Or if Kaido was attacking my leader and I click no response, then that means that I would take a life of damage. To look at your life, what you can do is if you select the life deck here, it'll pop up this bar at the bottom. And if you click on one of your life cards and click reveal to, and then click your name, it will show the life to you, but not to your opponent. So that way you can determine if there's a trigger and you want to play it. You can then drag it to the field and say, hey, I'm playing it. I'm playing this trigger effect. And that way it also shows in the log that you played it from your life. So it doesn't show that you you move the card to your hand and then you played something from your hand, since technically people could use that to cheat. So this is just a way to show, hey, I played this trigger directly from life. Or if, for example, you wanted to reveal a card and reveal it to yourself and then say, oh, I'm not, either it doesn't have a trigger, or if it has a trigger but you don't want to activate it, you can then just drag the card to your hand, and now it's in your hand and you can proceed forward with the game. So we'll move this back to our hand. So let's say it was our next turn and we want to untap, and we'll draw a card again. Now let's say, for example, there are certain cards like Sentamaru where you can search a card and play it from your deck. To do that, what you can do is you can click on your deck and click the Find Card button here. And then you can search through your deck for a specific card. You can see at the bottom here, there's also a little scroll bar. You can move back and forth between the cards to see what you want to find. So let's say, for example, we had a card that allowed us to play Bonnie from our deck. So we could drag Bonnie out here to the deck. And now the Bonnie's in the play area. And then you can, when you're finding a card, you can then click this X button over here on the left-hand side to close the bar, and then when we're done searching, we can shuffle our deck. So now it's all shuffled. Another thing you might run into as well with cards like Bonnie or Perona, where you have to look at the top 5 or 3 or however many cards. So say, for example, we wanted to activate Bonnie's effect here. I would shake the card to show that I'm activating the effect, and then rest her and rest one Dawn. And then if you want to look at the top 5 cards, what you can do is you click on the deck, and where it says peep here, you can change to how many cards you want to look at. So we're going to peep 5, so that'll show me the top 5 cards in my deck here. So for example, let's say I could get one Supernova, so I'm going to grab Beige here. So I'm going to drag Beige over into my play area just to show my opponent what card I'm getting. And then what you can do is you can, for these other 4 cards that we have to send to the bottom of our deck, you can click on the card and click Send to and select Main Deck Bottom, and that will send it to the bottom. Or when you're hovering over the card, you can hit the Y button and it will just automatically send it to the bottom. So we will drag that back to our hand. The other option as well is if you were doing if it was Perona, for example, so you're peeping 5 and you just wanted to rearrange the top 5 cards, all you have to do is drag the cards around in the order that you want them to be in. And then when you're done, you can just close it here, and now the cards are the new order you've selected is now saved. Otherwise, I think that's it. So, give the game a shot. It's a lot of fun, and hope you enjoy.